Morning. At this time, we will now join FYI radio broadcast with your radio hostess, Sister Yolanda Hinton, and co-host, Pastor Ed Everett. Good morning.
And a pleasant good morning, and thank you so much for tuning in to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI with our host, Miss Yolanda Hinton. I'm co-host Ed Everett, and for more information about FYI, you can call us at area code 757-714-7861. I want to say a pleasant good morning to you, Miss Hinton.
Good morning, Mr. E. A beautiful morning. Welcome to our WPCE 1400 AM listeners. Facebook Live, it's time for you to come on, tell us what you're doing, tell us hello, and we want to wish you all a happy Valentine's Day.
I want to say good morning to my good friend, Mr. James Overton. Thank you so much for tuning in to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world.
In the whole wide world,
in the whole wide world, and happy Valentine's Day to you, Miss Hinton.
Thank you so much. Look, this is Valentine's Day. It's all about love, and we have a wonderful, yes. We've been hunting her down too. We've been talking about her ever since she left here the last time, a few years, I think maybe a year ago or 2 years ago. But I want to introduce my special guest, Miss Salasia. Make sure I'm pronouncing it right. Bennett. Miss Bennett, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good this morning. It's a wonderful day to be alive.
It is. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to you too. Thank you for having me back.
You all about love.
All about
I love that. Tell me how you got started as a relationship expert.
Divorce.
Are you serious?
Very serious.
Tell us a little bit more.
Well, I was, running a successful business and thought that marriage was the next step in my life, and decided to get married to kind of like the first person that came along, because I thought it was time, that time in my life for marriage, and found out that love is not hard, but relationships can be challenging.
Oh my goodness, and that is exactly true. I want to talk about relationships now in 2018, and is there different? I know dating is a little bit different now, and let's talk about it. Dating or relationships in 2018, what, as a relationship expert, are you noticing about anything?
Everything. The most important thing I think that we have gotten away from when we're talking about relationships is service.
Oh my goodness.
No one wants to really hear that.
You're right about
that.
But
it's actually true.
Tell us a little bit more.
Service in a relationship, if you're going into a relationship just to be served, you're going to have a most difficult time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Relationships are more about servicing your partner and learning life through servicing.
That's just like parenting too. I mean, you think you want children and stuff like that, but when they come, you working 24/7. And so it's the same way with our love relationship. Tell us about how people now are meeting. I know social media and stuff, that's a big thing now, but does that make it easier or harder now?
I think it actually makes it harder to date. I think we need to get back to the old-fashioned ways of dating, of double dating, and and going on blind dates that our parents set us up on, or our friends set us up on. I think that technology has gotten in the way of making things personal. We can hide behind a computer. We can hide behind a message. Instead of being able to be face-to-face with someone, and they can see our reactions, and they can see,
Absolutely.
if we're telling the truth by our movements. And
Yeah,
I think we've gotten away from that.
Do you think it's a little bit more scary, Mr. E? I mean, as I listen to people and they're dating online and stuff, I do get a little nervous for them. I'm in a relationship, married for years, but when I see people out there dating now, it's like, oh, I hope y'all are careful. Because, I mean, I know that's how people meet anyway. You're strangers. But then you're online, and like you said, you can hide your profile, who you are. And they have a show, actually, that shows how people disguise themselves and try to be who they're not and, get you caught up in a web. But Have you tried the online dating at all?
Yes, I have tried online dating. It's not an avenue for me personally. It works for many.
Okay.
And many success stories. But it isn't an avenue for me because I know myself.
Okay.
And I know that I like to meet people in person. I like to put my hands on you. I like to,
that's great.
you know what I mean?
Want it personal.
I like to, yes,
Yes.
very personal. Like I said, I think online we've gotten away from that.
Okay.
And it takes away from the actual dating experience.
Wow.
You know, we're living in 2018, and in 2018, we fail to realize that the generation has changed. You said service earlier, and do you think because of the service that one has to give, it's a one-way street or a two-way street?
Right now, I think it's just a one-way street. I think it's a me type of attitude. I'm getting in this relationship because I want to be loved. I'm getting in this relationship because I want to fill a void.
Yes.
Instead of going into the relationship saying, oh no, I'm going to give what I have built up in myself.
Absolutely.
So you feel that the relationship is nowadays should be a two-way street instead of a one-way street.
That's
But
exactly.
relationships are just only one. You serve me and that's it. I don't have to bring anything to the table or anything. We just I do what I do, you do what you do. That's the ball game.
I'm going to do the minimal.
Okay.
Wow.
You know.
Amazing. So you think that's why they are breaking down more? Statistics are high for divorce, and people are not staying in relationships that long. I want to ask you about the millennials. Do you think they are less committed? Are they marrying now? Ms. Bennett, what do you think?
I think they are getting married. The issue that we are facing is that when people are making that commitment, they're not thinking lifelong. They're thinking, until I get tired of this.
Yeah. Ooh.
Until I get tired. I'm in it
Yes.
until it doesn't work for me anymore.
Okay.
Until all the benefits are gone.
That's right.
Right.
Yes.
Until if I don't have those butterflies in my stomach anymore, it's time to go.
Amazing.
Well, since you're the guru,
okay. Just want to say this. I want you to pull that book up because let's look at that book, honey. I love the title. So,
Oh,
Mr.
thank
E,
you.
go ahead. While we're doing that, I want to just show our Facebook friends her wonderful book, Dear Future Spouse. Oh my goodness, y'all got to get this book. Mr. E, go ahead and
Since
say
you
what
are the guru, and does butterflies supposed to go away, or what does one need to do to make the butterflies continue to butter and fly?
Well, definitely keep dating your spouse. Because we have to remember that the butterflies are the chemical reaction that we feel.
Yes.
And we don't want to confuse that with the actual feelings of love.
Okay.
Because those are different. Feelings of love develop over time. The butterflies are just because of the newness and, the cuteness and, those things. It's exciting. We want it to all work out. Those are the butterflies.
Tell us about the book, Dear Future Spouse.
Dear Future Spouse. I wrote Dear Future Spouse with the intent in mind that singles can prepare for a spouse by being able to learn how to serve.
Oh, I love that. I keep hearing that. And
So it's a 30-day journal. There's a second journal there's an actual journal that you can write in, and it helps you reflect on the questions that are being asked in there as well. But it's all about how can I give of myself and learning how to do that, because a lot of people don't know how to serve.
Okay.
And so it becomes a battle of them feeling like service means I have to give all and not receive anything back. It means that I have to be lowly. They get all of these bad feelings about service when service is the heart of a relationship.
It really is, and it makes a lot of sense. How long did it take you to write the book? Did you use a lot of your experiences from the past? And how do you feel about love after a marriage?
It took me about 6 months to write the book. Every day I just decided to sit down and think about how can I serve my future partner? And then, taking the information from there. Okay. I've had, a lot of people go through this book and say, wow, I had to stop on the second entry because I knew I wasn't ready for this book.
Wow. I love this. And who needs this book? Tell us who would benefit from this book.
Every single and engaged person out there who really wants to be in a relationship really needs to get this book and learn how to serve, because that's what it's all about.
You know, I always think about, people in relationship or starting a relationship. And a lot of times, I want your opinion, is it because we are winging it? You know, I really believe that people need a relationship expert to talk to them, to teach them more. They need to learn about marriage and stuff. And do you think too many of us just wing it? They get in a relationship, they have not made a true commitment, or they have not gotten any education on what it takes to really, really function in a wholesome relationship.
Absolutely. And even when you're in a relationship, in a marriage, you still have to do the learning part of it. You still, in order for a relationship to be healthy, it continues. Relationships grow.
Absolutely.
They don't just stay stagnant in one place, because that's how the relationship starts to break down.
Wow. When the relationship breaks down, it kind of stagnates the growth of the relationship purrs. Am I right? Now, I'm still stuck on this one-sided service. Now, shouldn't you know whether or not this one-sided service at the beginning, because with our new millennium, they have a tendency of saying, you, I give nothing but you. I'm bringing everything to the table. You're bringing nada, nothing. So wouldn't you think that it should be a two-way, easy street? And what does it take to make the two-way street better?
To make the two-way street better, you have to agree.
Okay.
I like that.
If you don't agree on where you're going, it's not going to work. There's going to be more challenges than you can imagine. That's just like when you get into a relationship and it's going to be long term. I believe every relationship that's going on to marriage should get some type of relationship counseling before they even get married. A lot of people don't want to do that, but it's a very important step, because that's when you talk about finances. That's when you talk about, kids. You talk about all of those things before you get into marriage.
But in the days of old, they never went into that ball game of how much money you make, and they just go and kidnap you. And the old boys used to kidnap the mamas and the daddies. The daddies used to kidnap the young ladies, and they gone on about their business, and they went through the struggles of life. But now it's a new day.
We definitely live in a different time where you have more women who are outside of the home working. That makes a very big difference.
Yes.
I think that men who have this whole thing in their mind that women are only the ones who serve, women are the ones who only take care of the home, need to start coming around to this is a partnership.
Absolutely.
This is a team effort.
Tell us where we can get the book.
You can get the book on Amazon.
Oh my goodness, Amazon is called Dear Future Spouse, a 30-day journal to love, honey. You think people are finding love for sure when they read your book and they start actually do they learn more? You think they're more learned now since, coming across your book and your information?
I definitely believe that they understand what the building blocks of what a relationship really is, what a marriage really is.
Wow. Well, we want to thank you for being on FYI. We're going to stay on Facebook Live and talk to our Facebook friends. Mr. E, have you learned much? You going home and got the flowers and the balloons and all that good stuff. You got to treat your spouse good, and she's got to treat you good. Y'all supposed to surprise each other, keep that thing going.
That's right.
Even though you've been married for a whole lot.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, we got it going.
Well, I want to thank
all
you
is
all
great
for tuning in. WPCE, we love you. We're going to see you on Fun Friday. We're going to have some great things for you all on Friday. You all enjoy this day, a beautiful day. Go out there and love somebody. Love on your friends. Do something special, and just be blessed. We'll see you on Fun Friday.
For the past 15 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI with our host, Miss Yolanda Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. And for more information about FYI, you can call us at area code 757-714-7861. That's 757-714-7861. Join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for more of FYI. That's with FYI Radio Show. Just join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for more of this great radio show, FYI Radio, with our host, Miss Yolanda Hinton. I'm the co-host, Ed Everett.
Thanks, Rev. I appreciate that.
You welcome, Donald. You got the mic up?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, my key.
Thank you, Mr. E. We're going to move over to this station here, WGPL. We're just running all around the place. Got the music playing and everything. Our beautiful guest is going to sit here. You all chime in if you want any information about Miss Bennett's book. If you want to know more about relationships, I hope she is going to do some seminars or some things for us in the Hampton Roads area. We need to get this thing together, Mr. E.
I know that's right, Miss Hinton, because the love doctor knows exactly what needs to be done in relationships.
I think people should be more educated about love and about relationships. We wing everything. We don't sit back and kind of like think about what we're doing, plan. Some people do. Let me change that. Some people are planning and doing, and things are a little bit different. Like you said, Mr. E, years ago, people used to just throw folk together. Oh, I got a nice sweet daughter, you got a nice son, and they throw folks together, back in the day. Or, arranged marriage and stuff like that. Do you find those things happening now? People arranging marriage? Do you think that's a good idea?
I actually watched that show on TV, The Married at First Sight. I love that show.
So that really works for some people?
Well, here in Western culture,
Okay.
we don't believe that that's the way to finding love. But in other cultures, they have, they understand that that marriage is a bigger picture than just, I love you, you love me, let's make some babies. It's about teamwork, it's about togetherness, it's about building.
Okay, absolutely.
Our marriage is about building. What are you building with your spouse? How are you making a difference in the world?
How can you rebuild a relationship? When do you know it's at the point of no return? How do you, some people go through the struggles, that's how marriage is, but when do you feel is the time to say that's it? It's over.
When the two people give up.
And become enemies too. Lord, when you become enemies, that's a mess.
When you say the two people give up, what do you mean by that? There's no more wood in the stove. There is no more, the flame is gone. And what do you mean for our listening audience? What do you mean? Because there are so many folks that are still in relationships, that are still married, they still have their partners, but they just passing like two ships.
Oh, wow.
But they have not docked yet. Wow. And one time or another, they used to dock at the bay, but now the ships are just passing, but never docking.
Wow.
Yeah. It's so funny that, you say that, because in my marriage, that's exactly what we were doing. Working and passing each other, not taking the time to actually, you have to bond.
Okay.
You can't just say, oh, we're doing this now, and, that's it, we're in it, we have the rings. You have to actually date. You have to actually take the opportunities to bond with one another. So, two people have to say, I want this to work. If only one person is saying I want this to work, it's going to be a hard road. Not that it's impossible. However, it's going to be challenging. So two people need to say we're all in.
What causes relationships to break down? What are some of the things that you notice can really tear a relationship up?
Number one, communication. That's our number one. That's the number one reason why relationships fail. And people will say money or infidelity, or it's really not. There is a communication breakdown somewhere, even when it's infidelity. Somebody's needs are not getting met, and so they feel they have to go out. That's communication. Money. What is the communication about money that's causing the relationship to break down?
Wow.
What about, I wanted to just ask about dishonesty. Is that really, I know that has to be a factor, because sometimes you think you know someone and they can be dishonest with money, or they can be dishonest with being out of the home and, doing all kind of things. How do you deal with dishonesty? You become aware of a person that, I didn't know you were dishonest.
Now, difference in just a dating relationship and a marriage.
Okay.
Completely different ways of handling that.
Okay.
In a dating relationship, if someone is being dishonest with you, you want to make sure you get to the bottom of it, and it may be, that wake-up call that lets you know, hey, we can't be together because this thing that you're doing, or you're being dishonest with me, and this can't carry further. However, in a marriage, if someone is being dishonest with you, you just can't say, oh, we're through, we're done.
Right.
If they're being dishonest about the money issue, let's get down to the bottom of it. When you're talking about a committed relationship, you have to be willing to do the work.
When it comes to the money issue, a lot of people has fallen apart because of money, not because of communication, but money seems to be one of the biggest problems in relationships, in marriages. So is it to the point where I trust you, you trust me, you spend as you invest, or do we go separate accounts? Do we have your money and my money instead of having a unit? Because in a relationship or marriage, it's supposed to be a unit. We're supposed to be together with communications and be able to chat. And if I see something and the needs need to be met, do I spend or do I take care of the needs first? But if I spend on me and not taking care of the need, now, there's a problem. So why is it that our communications, our money issues, seem to be one of the biggest things in relationships or marriage that cause you to fall apart?
Once again, it's the communication about that. So I talked a little bit earlier about doing the premarital.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
That's what you talk about there. You
Okay.
make sure that, why is everybody so afraid to show their credit score? Why is everybody so afraid to talk about what debt they have? Why is that such a touching issue for some people? Why? Because then they have to face it themselves. They have to actually fix it.
That's right.
So
that's
a lot
right.
of times in marriage, we don't want to have those conversations because that means we have to sit down and actually make a plan and fix.
That's right.
And then that holds me accountable for what I'm saying to you.
That's
If I
right.
say, oh, I'm only going to take $5 for lunch every day, and then I, take my friends out and spend $50, I'm accountable for that.
That's right. That's right. That's
And
right.
people don't want to be held accountable, and so it's that fear of control.
That's right. And that's the whole thing in a nutshell. Another thing is control.
Yeah, that's.
Do you think control one another? We are both adults. And that with us being both adults, you're grown, I'm grown, that I shouldn't look at you as my child, or I'm the big bad wolf, or the head of the household, or the man, but I should look at you as my mate, where I must identify you as like I identify me. If I take care of me, I'm supposed to be looking at you in the same fashion. Not saying, get in here and hit them pots and pans like I'm your,
Right.
like I'm your, like you.
But exposing things, I was talking about dishonesty and how people, I know one couple, how one did not expose their financial situation before they got married, and all of a sudden they become aware of, oh, wait a minute, you're in debt, what, you're going. And a lot of times, like you said, things have to come out front. You have to seek relationship information and experts counseling before time, because there's so much to make out. There's so much
That's right.
that you want to do. Who's chiming in on Facebook Live.
I want to say good morning to our special guest, Mr. James Overton. Thank you so much. Miss Moran Sherrod, thank you so much. Mr. Edward Jenkins, thank you so much for tuning in. Miss Jewel Corporal, thank you. Miss Sharon Gatlin, thank you so much for tuning in. And happy Valentine to you, Mr. Jenkins, to you, Miss Jewel, Mr. Allen Allison Ellis, thank you so much for tuning in. Mr. Stephen Felton, thank you so much. Mr. Darrell Williams, thank you so much for tuning in. And who's that? Edward Everett, who's that?
Edward
Thank you
Everett.
so much for tuning in to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI. We're here with the love doctor, the guru, Miss Bennett. Thank you
and I
so
want to see
much.
the book again because I want our viewers to see the book and tell us where they can get it, and just tell us again a little bit about what's in her lovely book.
They can get it at Amazon.com. And Dear Future Spouse is all about service, all about teaching you how to serve your spouse in a way that doesn't feel like you're giving all of yourself and not getting anything in return, but learning that through we're doing mature relationships.
Yes.
Mature relationships. So learning how to mature within a relationship to help you grow, because that's the whole point of relationships, is to help us grow to another level.
You're not doing like Steve Harvey.
What's Steve Harvey?
You know, Steve Harvey told about all the men, the secrets to the men. You know, you're not. Can you expose the secrets to the women of the women?
Any secrets?
Okay.
The
However,
men had a fit about that though. Some of them
Yeah, we did have a fit
felt like
behind
that.
it.
Hey, Steve, you can't tell all
Because-
our little tricks and.
That's
whatever.
right. You can't. You know, because we are hunters, and now you're telling all our skills. On the hunt.
So
Now you got your
if a
finger out.
man-
You're pointing there.
Yeah, if a man is a hunter,
Uh-huh.
then woman is their prey.
That's right. That's right.
And
That's right.
is that the kind of attitude that we want to have towards someone that we actually want to? Because if a woman is a gatherer, the man is the hunter, woman's a gatherer. The woman is gathering all of these good things,
Yeah.
characteristics. She's trying to help the family come together as one unit. But a hunter seeks to destroy.
No, not
That's a good
necessarily.
point.
Now you're looking at it in
Tell
another
it.
perspective. You're looking at, but we see that here it is, a man hunts for his prey. Now,
Right.
he has to use everything, every tool in the world to get her.
Okay.
Now, he got to woo her, and back in the days, in the caveman days, if he saw somebody that he liked, he took his club and he whacked over her head.
Stop with this. You messing yourself up.
That's what they did back in the day.
That's exactly
but
right.
See, but we have modernized now. We have advanced now, and so we don't need anybody going behind the man's back and say, "Watch that brother, because if he pimp, you know, he got a little slickness about it. He coming to get you." But she should know. Her signals should know whether or not John is a great cat or whether or not John is a good man or not, because there are some things that her parents had already told her, or somebody had already let her know that these are some of the things you got to check before you marry.
But what if she doesn't? That's the whole point.
Well, if she
Women
don't,
these
just
days-
get the club and hit on her head.
Well, that's why relationships are breaking down, because people don't have the information that they actually need to go in. So two people coming together shouldn't be trying to deceive each other.
Well,
One person shouldn't be trying to club the other person and take them for themselves. They should be trying to create a team effort.
That's right. And I'm in agreement with you. Now, Steve Harvey did that when he wrote the book. He had done been in how many marriages and still, you know, having troubles with 50 kids and all that. But I'm simply saying is,
They mad at him.
I'm simply saying that when a man brings, see, you got to know about a man. You got to examine a man, know about a man.
But that's why he was writing the book
No,
to tell on y'all.
But see, that's right. He was writing to tell on us, because a man has pride, and a man, you have to be one of the greatest person in the whole wide world to get behind that wall for a man to let down his pride. You got to break the zone, the box of a man.
I think, Mr. E, with anybody, the first thing we notice is that outward, you know, we see what we like and all that stuff. But there are things that you have to get to know about the
That's
person.
right.
And
That's
then there
right.
are some things that are hidden that you eventually
That's
will know
right.
about a
That's
person.
right.
And then there are some things that will come out that they don't even know they got inside
That's
of them.
right.
Situations and
That's
stuff
right.
brings that out. And so it's a process. And it takes time to get to know people because those things that are there and hidden, you're going to have to discover. And you're going to have boundaries because some things you're not going to want to put up with. And that's where I think relationships can stay whole. If you're the type of person that can stand certain things, oh, you're over the top with this, but I can accept you and love you. Oh, you're a white beater, no, I ain't going that far. I'm out.
That's right.
And so you have to realize what you can put up with because these things that are in us are going to come out in the process of time. You may not get to know somebody in a day, but eventually you got to find out if their habits and their ways are
That's
something
right.
that you can accept.
That's right.
And then you can continue to go on. But there are times when you have to say, no, I can't. I want to know, how did you get the title Dear Future Spouse?
Because I was thinking of what came to mind was, on my wedding night, what do I want to be able to tell my spouse? I'm thinking about on my wedding day, vows. What do I want to actually say? And it's just too much. It would be too much. There all day. So I have to write down what I can actually give it to my spouse and say, this is the way that I'm going to treat you. Hold me accountable for the way that I want, to treat you in this manner.
I want to just go through a few things. Dear future spouse, preparation, work, the weight, resolve, and love, cooking from the heart. What's that about? Cooking from the heart.
What kind of meal would you cook your spouse? And what does each thing represent?
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
That's great.
My biggest fear. Tell us about that.
What do I fear the most about being in love, being in a marriage, being in a relationship?
Oh, wow. It goes on and on. In section 3, it says, my heart is in your hand. Oh, my God. How vulnerable is that?
Exactly.
Wow. Love therapy, baby. Y'all better get love therapy. This is really, I think, a guide to really helping people to know where they are in relationship. Like I was saying earlier, you just wing something. I'm just going in it and don't have nothing. And, just no idea of where you're going and getting in things for the wrong reasons. This is really a great book. Healthy for my love, making decisions together, committed for life. These are wonderful titles. These are, I can't wait to read the book. Anything you want to say about the book that you know is going to be helpful and people, finding a resource? What is it about your book?
It's always about, a lot of people don't want to do the work. It's always about doing the work. They think that relationships just come easy and that you, like you said, you wing it along the way. And that's really not how it should be, only because we want to be able, we prepare for everything, right?
I like that, yes.
We take parenting classes before the baby comes,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
We take driver's ed classes before we get to be on the road, and a test, right? We have to be tested. What else do we do? Education-wise,
That's right.
we have to receive that certificate, but we never have to go to any classes when it comes to
Wow.
when
That's
it comes
great.
to actually building a marriage. Because, like I said before, it's a marriage is about building. What are you doing to help the community? What are you doing to help the world by the two of you coming together?
Absolutely. I got a chance to introduce a book. How many minutes? 2. Okay. I had an opportunity to introduce a book to my Young Women Achieving Success program, and it was actually a guide to helping them to understand themselves, their bodies, and when the right time is for for sex and things like that. And when I was telling them planning out, they really were like, well, wait a minute, we're talking about planning out. Making right decisions, making sure you know your body, making sure you become one with the right person, and you take your time in making that decision. And so we do need to educate ourselves. We do need to know about love. We need to teach our children things. We need to get this book, honey. And you can go on Amazon. The name of it again, Mr. E?
The name of this book is Dear Future Spouse, A 30-day journal to love.
I love that. And I definitely just ask you all to go and support Miss Bennett and all that she's doing. Thank you so much for being on FYI. I have learned so much. And you just be blessed and have a wonderful Valentine's Day. What you gonna do?
Definitely.
What you gonna do, girl?
I'm going to get the kids a couple things so that I
Yeah.
can surprise them and they can be happy. It's all about the kids.
That is so
It's Valentine's Day.
nice. So nice. So you all be blessed. You know, we're going to do FYI After Dark. I want you to come on and pop on. You know, we can pull you in on Facebook. Come on, because we want to talk about love, relationships, all that kind of good stuff. And so we're going to join you all soon. And we're going to definitely bring Miss Bennett on to talk to you. And if you have any questions, we can really get real serious about what's going on and how you can make your relationship 100. Mr. E, take it away.
I want to say thank you so much for tuning in to the Love Doctor, to FYI radio show with our host, Miss Bennett. I mean, it was a great, awesome show. Our guest, Miss Lisa Bennett. I want to say thank you so much. Miss Hinton, you the best. And happy Valentine to you both ladies.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. And listen, for more information about FYI, you can call us at area code 757-714-7861. Remember, you can join us on Facebook Live at Yolanda Hinton's page, Edward Everett's page, or FYI radio show hosted by Yolanda Hinton's page, or you can go to YouTube and see the same show on YouTube. That's right. You can also join us after dark, FYI After Dark, and we'll let you know more about it. And don't forget to take the 30-day challenge. That's right.
Yeah.
Work out for 30 days until summer.
30 minutes.
30 minutes for 30 minutes until
Okay.
the summer. 30 minutes a day until summer. That means that your figure O will turn right back into a figure 8. That's right. Because I know what it is when you just done had a pop belly, you done got out of shape. That was me. Listen, join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Mondays on WGPL 1350 from 9:30 till 10 a.m. and on WPCE from 9:45 to 10. Don't forget the 30-day challenge. Don't forget FYI After Dark. Don't forget to join us on the World Wide Web, www. Christian Broadcasting Company, in your office, in the airplane, wherever you may be, you can hear FYI radio show right here in live in the living color on Facebook. Until Friday, it's been a ball. The clock on the wall said we got to get out of here.
Yes.
Bye now.
Happy Valentine's Day.
And make sure you don't listen to the guru.